2, 3, 4, 1, 2, rate.
Welcome to Straight Talk TV, the show that cares about you, where the information comes from the people to the people. And here's our host, Tony Brown.
I want to thank everybody for, today we can say on your phones, or on your computers, on your laptop. We used to just say, welcome to your home. Well, if you're at home, thank you. We appreciate it very, very much. Before we get into the show, as Steve said, Straight Talk Show is the show that cares about you, where the information comes from the people to the people. But before we get started, please stand in your heart and in your mind for the Black National Anthem.
Yes.
It's one. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought. Facing the rising sun, on a day begun. Let us march on till victory is won. Let us march on till victory is won. It's won. Is won.
Oh my goodness. Go ahead.
Yes, marching on to victory is won. It's a marathon, folks. And this young lady that's going to be sharing with us, she is marching on. And she's a lady with powerful words. She has a gift. She's an author. And it's Warriors Month, Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Miss Tamika Herbert. Thank you.
Greetings, Tony, and your audience. It's my honor to be here to share with your listeners and viewers. Thank you so much. I'm humbled to be here.
It's a blessing to have you. And the song says marching on, and you have been marching on. Share a little bit with our viewers. You can get as personal if you like.
Okay.
How you been marching and why you been marching and for what?
Oh my goodness. Well, since we only have a segment, we don't have a century, right? But we'll come back to talk about the other marches then. It's been some years since the last time I saw you, but it is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And that is one way I have definitely been marching. But Tony, you know what? Something that for me that's been transpiring in the past couple of months is moving from awareness to action.
Absolutely, yes.
Right? Breast Cancer Awareness Month, but it's Breast Cancer Action Month. And for me, one of those actions was to stop running from the book the Lord told me to write years ago. Stop running, Tamika. And that's what I did, Tony. I stopped running. Obviously, October 31st is my breast cancer controversy anniversary, where people normally, celebrate death, I'm celebrating life. And one of my mantras that I live by is I am so very thankful for the breast cancer. And I know that sounds weird to say, but because of my diagnosis, it just uncovered so many things about my life that was hidden behind the immaculate tower of Tamika Herbert. But breast cancer was that wrecking ball that just knocked me down into a bunch of ruins and rubbles. But in the midst of that, so much was uncovered, and I'm being rebuilt and fortified.
Oh my goodness. Mr. Engineer, can we pull up a photo of the warrior? Let's talk a little bit about this warrior.
Oh man,
You're a warrior.
the warrior stance. Listen,
Yes.
that that was the day, like, again, I was like, I don't celebrate death, I celebrate life. So I had to come with it, rowdy about it as a warrior, because there's a certain stance warriors have, right? There's a certain disposition conquerors have. And for me, this is my journey and my story of where I am right now. I realize how much of a warrior that I am, not just when it comes to breast cancer, but a warrior in various facets of my life.
Yes.
And hence, breast cancer warrior, breast cancer conqueror, here I am.
I see you got is that the shield? And
Li-
share a little bit about what we're seeing right now.
You see it, Tony? Listen. So,
Okay.
I grew up in the projects, so
Okay.
we had to be creative and inventive. We cut out a shield here and put a little aluminum foil on there, and you have a lot of different warrior symbols. We made a W, so and that light is shining in that warrior. That's my sword, huh? The sword is lit up with my breast cancer vest, and in the center of my heart, fortified. All of this is only because of the love of Jesus Christ.
Yes. Yeah.
My breast cancer diagnosis actually renewed my faith. It brought me back home to my father. And so I had to give the people a little something with the warrior stance.
Right. People probably say, you say you celebrate. What got you there to say, okay, this is happening to me. How do I bring it so it's positive?
Yes, totally. I would say everything starts with a mindset, right? For those of us who are believers, we know the children were removed from Egypt, but their minds were still in Egypt, even though they were going to the promised land. We ain't got no water. At least we was back in Egypt where we had pots of meat. So
Yeah.
my mind had to be renewed, Mr. Tony. And that's what happened with breast cancer. I say breast cancer again was the wrecking ball that demolished Tamika. And in the midst of that, I'm really, really big. And how I got to be thankful is because my life is here, but because I was healed from the emotional bondage I was entangled in for so many years for various things, right? So breast cancer was the start to uncover me not dealing with the death of my mom when I was 13 for over 3 decades. It was like it never happened,
I can know.
never talked about it, and things of that nature, right? As well as my innocence being robbed from me when I was a child.
Yes.
And that led to a lifestyle of being very promiscuous. That led to a lifestyle I didn't care who it was, how I talked to anybody. It uncovered bitterness, it uncovered unforgiveness, the pride. Who sits in the dark for 2 weeks, Mr. Tony, with no electricity because I have everything together? I'm not going to let anybody know I couldn't pay my electricity bill. Who does that?
Yes. Yes. You're speaking to the people. Yes.
So that's how what breast cancer did. It untangled the bondage I was in because of the emotional turmoil from various things I experienced in my life. the physical abuse. We can talk about that. Like I said, being very promiscuous, extramarital affairs. Who does an intentional incestuous relationship, Mr. Tony? I know this is stuff people don't want to talk about. I have no shame or condemnation because I've been liberated by God. And this is what breast cancer did. This is what breast cancer did. Because of my diagnosis, I became free and liberated because it's not about me.
Yes, absolutely.
But it's about serving people who are experiencing or have experienced similar things as I have.
Now you also an author, right? And I think we have do we have a flyer of the book? I think we have one. There it is. I think the engineer, do we have a flyer that engineer you can pull it up and you can kind of talk a little bit about the book, how you put it together and what we're looking at. And
Totally.
Yes.
Yeah, so the name of my book is Conquer the Fight of Life. The book was written in a way that can cross-pollinate to any hardships we experience, right? Whether if it's a cancer diagnosis, whether if it's divorce, if it's death, there are tools in here that can be applied to any hardship in life. And like I said, I'm really big on emotional intelligence. And as I went about writing this book, there was just downloads of various things that I learned in the midst of my cancer journey, but as well as helping those people who are loved ones, family members, and they want to know, how can I aid? How can I assist? There's also ways and conversations in there to help other people in the midst of that, because hardship is not for us, it's not about us. That's what I found out. If I profess to be a disciple of Jesus Christ, what he did on the cross, it wasn't about him. So any hardship I experience is not about me, but it's to serve people, God's creation of people. And I'm simply here to be a servant, to talk about any and all things, the pride, the relational distress, all of it.
Well, you're touching a lot of hearts and we appreciate it. Now we got a Q code, people. All you gotta do is take your phone now and you can just
That's
put
it.
the code up there and bless her with purchasing of her book. I mean, she's blessing, she's pouring out her heart to you. And it takes a whole lot to just say, I'm just gonna give it to the people.
That's it. That's it. Just giving it to the people. And starting tomorrow, I do have a special because Friday will be 12 years. So you can get an ebook as well. 2 ebooks for the price of 20. You go to TamikaLHerberts.com. I also have hard copies. And you can find me and connect with me on all the socials. TamikaLHerbert.com is my website. Tamika L. Herbert on Instagram and Tamika L. Herbert on Facebook as well.
Well, you know, we appreciate it. Do you have any events coming up before we go?
Oh my gosh, I just finished them. Not right now. I just did a lot for this month, but there are some things in the work and I might have an Audible book coming.
Okay, well, keep Straight Talking informed because it is your platform. And as we say, Straight Talk Show is the show that cares about you, where the information comes from the people to the people. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Tamika Herbert, she got a cue card up there. Bless her, because she's blessing us. We appreciate you so much. Yeah, there it is. Yes, we appreciate you. Be blessed, okay?
Thank you, Tony. Thank you, audience.
Thank you so much. When we come back, we're going to be joined with Finch Academy. And I tell you, what they're doing over the academy is powerful. People, stay tuned. We'll come right back. And as I said, I'm going to say don't touch that dial, but don't push that button on that phone, okay? And don't close that laptop or that tablet. We'll be right back. Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Herbert. Appreciate you. Be blessed. Okay. Another clap praise for Miss Tamika Herbert. Do we have Dr. Finch? Please come on. Dr. Barber and Mr. Edwin, they're all from the Finch Academy. Yes?
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Let's share a little bit about, we have the doctor, the CEO of Finch Academy. Let's share a little bit about how this academy came about, and then we'll bring Dr. Robert Washington on and Mr. Dr. Edwin on. How did Finch Academy start? What motivated you?
Okay, so in 1992, I was working at McDishman Community Center, and it had just recently been remodeled, and they had beautiful classrooms, air conditioned. They were just sitting up there, and I talked to the building director, and I told him, I said, we need to start some preschool programs here. And so they're like, well, Mrs. Finch, you can start the preschool program. And so that's how I started doing the preschool programs. I started in 1992 at Matt Dishman Community Center, and I ran multiple programs for children throughout that time. And then in 2021, in the midst of the pandemic, we were running our preschool online at the time. And I believe the pandemic started in 2020, this winter of 2020. And so we came back online because I didn't want the kids to miss out on their school. So we did Zoom classes, and we had 100% participation of the children at Matt Dishman participating in the Zoom preschool program, which lasted an hour. And most people said that was way too long for children to be sitting in front of a computer, but I had to click the button and push them off because they didn't want to leave. So while we were running the program at Matt Dishman, Dr. Washington is my sister-in-law. She's married to Irwin Washington, my youngest brother, who's also a pilot, or was a pilot at United, and he's also an Air Force pilot and all that. So we all came together and we worked on getting grant funding to start the Finch Academy. And that came into mind when I was sitting in church on Sunday in 1998, and the minister was preaching a service. And he said, God has blessed many of you with talents, and you're sitting on those talents, and you need to use those talents to glorify his name. And as clearly as I'm speaking to you, I heard the voice say, you need to start the school. You start the school, the people will come. And so for several years, I kept hearing that similar service from Dr. Bethel and visiting ministers who came to the church. And each time I heard God say, you need to start the school. And so I believe he planted a seed in my mind at that time. So when the funding became available, we were able to write a grant. And so I had never written a grant before. So my brother was flying in and out of Portland because he was a pilot for United, coming in the midst of the pandemic, and we're writing up this grant for Preschool Promise. And we actually got the grant for 36 slots. And that was like the biggest grant that we've ever gotten. And so that's how we started the Finch Academy. So, yeah.
It's a blessing. And you have Dr. Barbara Washington with this. And folks, I'm just going to share a little bit. She has an MA, Educational Psychology, graduated educational doctorate in curriculum instructions with specialization in gifted education. That takes a big heart. Thank you, Doctor, for joining us. How did you get involved with, what moved you to get involved with this academy? I know there's family there, but what?
There's family, yeah. But, you know, being an educator, it's something that you love, and knowing that she's been doing preschool for forever, and it was time for her to open her own space. I just wanted to be a part of it and do anything that I could to help. So my role right now as Director of Curriculum and Professional Learning, I help the teachers with their curriculum and their lesson planning for 3 to 5 year olds for preschool and pre-K. And we are a STEAM program and phonics-based program. So just getting the students and the teachers to be comfortable with things that are out there in everyday life, STEAM, science, tech, engineering, arts, and math. And then the phonics, which is a precursor to early reading. So We are just there to help the students in the community, families, everyone, and trying to get more students at the Finch Academy.
Well, you know, it's just, I was listening, and it's just a blessing when we do listen and we move on it. And somewhere in the scripture, somebody was saying they couldn't talk, but he said, go ahead and I'll show you how to talk. I have to talk to the people, right? And so when I heard Dr. Finch mention that, she kept hearing us over and over to write the program. And then you joined in with just share a little bit about when you say specialization, people say, okay, what is she referring to? Please share a little bit about that.
Well, with my degree, I specialize, my background is gifted education. So that tends to be students who have a high IQ or are seen as being advanced. You know, most people say all children are gifted, and I agree, but there is a specialized place for gifted students and teachers of gifted students.
That's gifted. Oh, Dr. Edwin, are you the pilot? You gonna fly on in here? I see you up there. You done landed the plane. You here with us? Share a little bit about who Dr. Edwin is as well.
Well, first of all, I'm not a doctor. You know, I'm just I'm someone that was blessed enough to be born in a family that valued education.
Yes.
And to be married to a beautiful wife that is an incredible educator, and have a sister that has been steadfast and devoted to educating our youth. And so my motivation comes from just our background and our family background, but also that, you know, I grew up, basically we call Portland our home. And I think that every young person should have the advantage of having quality education, especially preschool education. So they should. And I don't think there's anything that's more important to that, to give young people, especially in our community, a head start, so to speak. And so there's nothing. I don't look at it as anything that I can't do to help in that field as well. And so when my sister Delorie came and said, "Hey, we need to try to get this started," I'll be quite honest with you. I had, you know, my ideas about where it should be, and she was dedicated to having it at the church. And I said, okay, fine, we'll do it. That's what you want to do, we'll do it. But we worked really, really hard to try to get some scholarship money for that to happen, and we ended up getting some considerable grants to get it started. And so we're a family, we're a pretty tight-knit family, and we like to give back to the community that we came from. So essentially that's our motivation.
Oh, that's beautiful. And I'm gonna put this out there now because I'm a talk show host.
Mm-hmm.
We'd be honored for you to come back one day and talk about this journey with this pilot.
Oh, certainly.
Yes,
certainly.
And our young people, me too, to hear about the journey, how you got there. From the background, from my understanding, there's some people that motivated you as well. But
absolutely. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
We would love to sit at your feet and talk about that journey, how you flying them planes. I mean, because hey, that's a great deal of authority. That's also a great deal of education that came with that. And then, I mean, hundreds of people's lives you are in charge of. Are you still flying?
No, I just retired. You know, I retired from almost 30 years flying for the military, and then I retired just recently from 33 years flying for United Airlines. And so I'm taking a little sabbatical from flying right now. But to that point, you know, the reality of it is our parents taught us that there was nothing that you could dream of you couldn't do. And so and that's the nexus of why the three of us are all working to make the Finch Academy successful, because if we can pass on those same type of mind frame to young people, there's nothing you can do. If I can do it, then certainly someone else can do it. So, but I'd be honored to come back and talk about that in some more detail at a later date with you.
We'd be honored. Back to the doctor. You have a fundraiser going on. Let's share a little bit. Are you ready to share a little information about the fundraiser?
Yes, but first, before I share, I would like to add on to what my brother had said. His flight, his journey to be a pilot started when he was just a little tiny baby, you
Oh,
know, and my mom and dad would talk about how they would hold him in their arms and his head would always go back when they're outside and he could see the airplanes in the sky. So he was like destined to be a pilot because he's always like had that dream to be a pilot, I think from day one when he was able to see that. So yeah. And I was privy to fly on his last flight to Tahiti.
yeah.
So that was awesome. So yeah, he's a great pilot. United lost a great pilot when he retired. Yeah. So now I will talk about our fundraiser.
Yeah,
So um, the fundraiser is for the Finch Academy. And as I said, you are never too young to learn what you want to be. People always say that, you have to wait until you're in high school or college or whatever. Some people do, but some people know what they want to be from early on in life. So like I said, my brother knew, the pilot has always been his dream. Our older brother, his dream was to be a doctor, and he grew up to be a doctor, you know. And so with these little children, a lot of times people teach right here and we go strive to the highest, and we've been told that you're trying to teach too much, but I don't believe that. I don't believe you can ever teach too much. They're like little sponges and they'll soak up whatever you give them. And so, in order to be able to reach as many children as we want, right now my school is free for 20 students because we have a preschool for all grant, but we still have, we're licensed for 40. So we have space for 20 more students that we would like to have tuition for those 20 students. So we're trying to raise money for tuition, to also pay our teachers what they're worth, because I feel we're not really paying them what they're worth right now. And there's all other bills that need to be paid. And so in order to do that, we need to raise funds. And so December the 19th, we will be having a fundraiser, which will be at the Doubletree Lloyd Center. And it will go from 6 o'clock to 11 o'clock. It's a dinner hour also. So there'll be music, live music and DJ music. And it will start off with dinner and a silent auction, and then we'll also have a live auction. And so we're even going right now to get people to donate so that by the time the actual event comes, it would be really nice to have a fat little nest egg to sit on. Get it, Finch Academy sitting on nest egg, okay. So it would be really nice to have that to be sitting on when we start our fundraiser.
maybe,
Like,
but Finch is like a type of bird, right?
exactly. So,
Well, when you get the flyer, any information, please give it to Straight Talk.
we also have our web pages online. You can go to the Finch Academy, and it is the Finch Academy. Without the you won't get there. thefinchacademy.org. And when you go into there, there's also, you have our whole web page. There's drop downs where you can see our teachers, our staff, field trips and things that we've done through the school year. And there's also a page to donate. So you can push a button to donate. The donation will also be for the fundraiser will also be to get uniforms for the children because we are in uniform. And so we would like to be able to provide uniforms for all the children. So, yeah.
Well, let Straight Talk know whatever we can do to be a part of it. And, people, I had an opportunity to go over and had a tour of the academy. Now, if I remember right, those rooms were different colors, right?
Yes.
Please share a little bit. So the viewers to know why you have the different colors in the room and the whole.
Okay, so it's just like the age. So some people go 3-year-old room, the 4-year-old room. We have the blue room, which is our 3-year-old room, and then we have the red yellow room, which is our 4-year-old room. So it's called red yellow because it was actually 2 rooms, and we opened it up to make one big room. So on one door you come in is yellow side, the other door you come in is the red side. The children are assigned a color when they come into the school. And so whatever color they're assigned, that's their color for the whole school year. So their cots are blue, their homework folders are blue or green, red cots, yellow cots, red folders, yellow folders. We have tablets, and so the kids are learning their technology with the tablets and things like that. So the kids are just assigned colors. So that's just the significance of the classrooms.
Well, I must say, it's such a calm people. can I send them over there to check it out? Is that okay?
Yeah, absolutely. We have an open door policy. Just call us so we know.
Yeah.
The school is kept in lockdown, so it's a safety issue. So you just call and we give tours. We're giving tours right now because people are coming in still. So yeah.
Put the address out there, the phone number, so people can, and we'll also put it in our credits and also on the social media platform for you. But
Okay. Yeah, we're located in the lower level of Maranatha Church, which is on 12th. The address is 4222 Northeast 12th Avenue, and we're in the lower level of Maranatha Church.
Yes.
Phone number 503 567 1033.
Dr. Barber, some closing words for us.
It's a great place for your children to learn, come and learn, and to grow. We do focus on their social emotional learning, their physical and their cognitive development. So we look at providing a space and learning environment for the whole child.
Oh my goodness. Mr. Pilot.
Yes, sir.
Come on with some words for us, for our viewers, as we close out.
Well, we're first of all, just want everyone to just stay safe in their environments where they are. All right, and come on out to Maranatha, and take a look at the Finch Academy, and we look forward to working with whoever would like to work with us. We're excited about this upcoming year, and we're really grateful and thankful that for you, Mr. Brown, for having us on our show. And we expect to see you at the fundraiser.
That would be a blessing to be there. Please keep us informed. Let us know. Yes. Hey, send me some VIP tickets.
So we got you. I got you covered.
No, blessing. Appreciate each and every one of you, Dr. Finch, Dr. Barber, Pilot Edwin. Please let Straight Talk know whatever we can do. This platform is yours. As we say, Straight Talk TV is the show that cares about you, where the information comes from the people to the people. We bless. We thank you. I know you folks are busy, but just blessing us with your presence, your information. It's a blessing. We appreciate it so much. So much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mrs. Finch, how do we close out our stand-up? Full steam ahead.
Yes, so stand up. 1, 2, 3. Full steam ahead.
My goodness. Yes. Boat speed ahead. Is that what you said? Vote?
Full, Full, full steam.
Full speed ahead. I like that.
Full steam, like an engine, like a steam engine. Full steam ahead.
Yes, full steam ahead. Well, you heard it, folks. You heard it. And we got the information. We're going to get the information to you to get out and support this academy, because they are helping our youth. And that truly is our future for tomorrow. Be blessed. Thank you, each and every one of you. When we come back, we're going to be joined with Dr. Carmen Thomas.
Thank you.
Voting time, people. Be blessed. Thank you so much. It's voting time. She's going to share with us the importance of voting. And she has a book out, a powerful book that she's going to touch on a little bit. So don't touch the dial. Don't close that laptop. Don't all that good stuff that we do with technology these days. We'll be right back. Okay. Thank you. Again, another shout out for Finch Academy. Joining us is Dr. Carmen B. Thompson. Thank you. I know you've been busy. We really appreciate you stopping in on us and just blessing us with your presence. It's voting month. I mean, yeah, well, it's voting time.
Yes.
A couple of weeks is going to be voting month. Let's get right into the book. Can we put a picture of the book up. Oh, first of all, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dr. Carmen. I'm sorry. Yes.
Thank you.
Yes. Mr. Engineer, can we pull up a photo of that? Oh, Making America Whiteness. There it is. Let's talk a little bit about what moved you to write this book?
Thank you for having me, and thank you for your audience. What moved me to write this book was to try to understand why it was that Black people were singled out for slavery and were the objects of so much terrorism by white people. So since Black people came to Virginia in 1619, the first colony that makes up what today is the United States, why it was that we were enslaved here and why it was that so much vitriol towards Black people happened. And so I wanted to understand that question because as a student in elementary school, high school, and college, no one could answer that question for me. And as I attempted to answer that question, it first brought me to want to understand the origins of whiteness and white supremacy, since the object of the ire and terror against Black people was precipitated by whites. So I was trying to understand what that was about. So in my doctoral studies, I did my research looking into African enslavement in early Virginia and utilized that research to be able to make my argument and write my dissertation around what are the origins of white supremacy in the United States. Thus the title of the book, The Making of American Whiteness.
And people, let me share a little bit. The doctor, she earned a PhD in U.S. history from the University of Illinois. Urbana-Champaign, and her master's of arts in African American studies at Columbia University in New York. And she's also a publisher of another book we'll talk a little bit about, but I just want to give you a little background on, she's put the work in. She's put the work in, the time in, to give us the information about this book and why she put it together. Back to you, Doctor. I just want to put that out there a little bit for the people.
And so the book is important of understanding white supremacy because I think we're in a moment right now where Black people in particular are coming under attack in our political system. And so I wanted people to have a sense of what these origins of not only the attack now, but it's from the time that we've been here, from slavery to Jim Crow to civil rights and beyond, have always had this constant attack by white people in the United States against Black people. And I talk about the origins of that and how it is that that came about. And so it really is about white supremacy and how it is that that has impacted the lives of African American people as we have survived, continued to thrive both culturally and in every aspect of our lives, despite of what has happened. And there's various sectors in our society in which white supremacy has manifested itself, one of which of those is voting.
Is voting. And if I can talk, I want to touch on a little bit about this Supreme Court ruling, unanimous, about the disparities and racial impact. Can you share a little bit about that too?
Are you talking about the Louisiana case that is at the Supreme Court now?
Yes.
Yeah, so there's, the history of voting in the United States goes back again to early America, before we actually were a nation. When Europeans first arrived in Virginia, they had a rule that only white men with property could vote. That was in the early 1600s. They had to change that in the late 1600s due to Bacon's Rebellion, because poor white men without property got mad and tired of basically all the property going to the wealthy. So in order to prevent them from siding with Native Americans and even some African people, they gave them the right to vote so they would continue to support, all of their legislation. Fast forward then to the Civil War period. After that, when the 15th Amendment was passed that gave Black men the right to vote, because women, white and black and other races, couldn't vote until the passage of the 19th Amendment in 1920. But at the end of when the 15th Amendment was ratified in the 1870s, black men got the right to vote. And so that it was during that period, during Reconstruction, that black people were coming into office, and black senators and Congress people and men were holding office positions. Even during that time, though, there had been a lot of pushback by then Democrats, which effectively are today's Republicans, who were trying to stop black people from having the right to be able to vote, having black men having the right to vote, having the right to hold office, and having black men from voting. And so they put in all of this effort to try to curtail that. Over time, the radical Republicans, which is like today's Democrats at that time, kind of grew weary of trying to protect black people from this onslaught of white supremacy and trying to disenfranchise them from voting and holding office. So you had the end of Reconstruction and this long period from the late 1870s all the way into the Civil Rights Movement of white society and white lawmakers and citizens stopping black people from voting. And so we have a long history of that in this country. You see pictures of the water hoses and the dogs, and that was all trying to stop black people from voting. So since the ratification of the 15th Amendment to the Civil Rights Act, which is saying, yes, black people do have the right to vote. I mean, it's not a constitutional amendment. The 1965 Civil Rights Act is just an act. So it's like, yes, okay, we ratified the 15th Amendment for black men to have the right to vote. We passed the 19th Amendment that black women can vote. Please, white people, let black people vote without violence. So here we have the 1965 Civil Rights Act. And it is out of that history that even since then, the 1965 Civil Rights Act has to be renewed every so many years. And that's put in there by design. It's not kept there because, again, this is still this fight for black people to have the right to vote. White people who hold these positions seem to think, well, we just don't need this indefinitely. At some point, things will settle down, meaning white people will quit trying to stop black people from voting. And so from 1965, when the act happened, and it was renewed, in 1970, 1975, and 1982, and every so many years it keeps being renewed, and it has all these provisions in it and clearances and checks to try to stop them from, gerrymandering or changing all these laws and practices so that black people don't have the right to vote. So right now in the U.S. Supreme Court, because of some strict gerrymandering in the state of Louisiana, where you have over the state of Louisiana is like 40 some percent black, but they only have 2 congresspersons right now, and they're trying to strip that down through gerrymandering, which is basically changing the voting alignment or districts where people can vote such that the predominance of black people that would be in one district that would kind of guarantee kind of a black representative. They're trying to pack them all into one area so that essentially there would only be one. So you have a state that's like 30 to 40% black, instead of having the 2 senators, it's only going to have 1. And so these are just some of the tactics that have been constantly being used. And the Supreme Court, because they are stacked with kind of radical Republicans appointed by Donald Trump, not the radical Republicans back in the Reconstruction era, but kind of the MAGA Republicans, I should say, with Gorsuch and Kavanaugh, Amy Coney Barrett, Clarence Thomas, and John Roberts and Samuel Alito. They are the type of Republicans who don't think that the Voting Rights Act should exist the way that it should, and they are turning having the protections against black people and making it seem as if any racial mandates within the Voting Rights Act is actually reverse discrimination and white supremacy. It's not, because so many things are happening to stop black people from voting, like closing down voting, early voting, closing, removing ballot boxes, stopping Sunday voting, all the things that would allow African Americans to vote, including this gerrymandering where you kind of disenfranchise Black people from having clean access to representatives in their district. All of those things are just some of the modern tactics that they're using. And of course, not passing the John Lewis Voting Rights Act again to make it to say, hey, yes, Black people can vote. So this long history that I've explained is kind of coming to fruition once again in this Louisiana case that's at the Supreme Court.
And Doctor, I appreciate the fact also that you touched on, because I was sharing with somebody the other day, and they said, well, it's a voting law. I said, no, it's not a law, it's an act.
It's an act.
It's different in the terminology and even how it's viewed in the courts. And I think right now, we have to understand, first of all, people have died. People have laid their life down for us to be able to just go in and cast our vote. So,
yes.
And I was sharing with the person, I said, why do you think they're doing this redistricting, the gerrymandering, if our vote is not important?
Exactly.
And it's almost like I don't want to say it's reverse. It's a reversal now where they're trying to shut it down. And it almost seemed like, I'm gonna borrow something from Brother Malcolm, by any means necessary.
Yeah, yes. It's always been that way. Again, since the 15th Amendment was ratified in the late 1870s, there's always been this backlash against, Black freedom in general, but particularly on the right to vote, because that then is where power comes from. And if Black people vote their capacity, particularly in the South, where we're still most represented, as far as large numbers of Blacks, in a lot of places 30 and 40% populations in various cities, and even the state of Texas has like 34% of all of the eligible voters are Black. That's the largest percentage of any place in the United States. And yet, when you look at a place like Texas, who's going through their own gerrymandering issues that you probably heard about when those Texas congressional representatives, kind of held out for a couple of weeks, they have the largest percentage of eligible Black voters, and yet they, along with a larger percentage of Latino people, have failed to elect a governor and pass a lot of or elect a lot of other representatives that are not Republican. So they've kind of been in the stronghold of the Republican Party. And so it's just been this constant attack over time. And it's important for Black people to be able to respond to that, but also to realize that we are up against this threat that has constantly been there. And we cannot afford to kind of be apathetic or to feel like that government doesn't work for us in the face of this, because now that we have a president like Donald Trump in there, who is very similar to some of the earlier presidents like Andrew Johnson and others who have very, been against Black rights, but doing it now in the modern era in a way that doesn't come off as derogatory as it happened in the past. We still have to realize that the attack against Black people in voting is as strong as it's ever been. And it's for fear that Black people then will have more and more representative government and more laws and policies that will advance the issues and interests that are important to Black people. So voting is about two things. It's about hanging on to the advances that we've already won through the Civil Rights Act, and then even going further than that. And that's what the pushback has been, because obviously since Black people arrived in Virginia, and again, the colony that makes up what is the United States today, there's just been this anti-Blackness and white supremacist trend within the United States. It's not as bad as it was, but these tactics to stop Black people from voting in particular are remnants of that are modernized for the moment that we're in now.
Right. And I want to touch a little bit about in your scholarship, in the Supreme Court, like in December 22nd, quoted you. Can you share a little bit about that?
Yeah, well, the reason why they quoted me in that case, the case was about unanimous, having ununanimous juries deciding the fate of someone who's committed a crime. And they passed that in Oregon in I think it was the 1950s, to basically ensure that more Black people would go to jail. So again, they couldn't just say, we want more Black people going to jail. So what they did is pass it to where an ununanimous verdict could send you to jail. The Supreme Court did find that that was illegal. And so all the courts in the United States had to go back through and look at those cases again to be sure that whoever was harmed by that their trials could have the opportunity to have a second look, even if it's been decades and decades later. So they referred to my book, The Making of American Whiteness, to show the ways in which white supremacy is so much a part of our judicial system and our legal system. And that's some of the work that I'm able to shed light on, is how it is that we think about whiteness and white supremacy, and how that has worked to the detriment of African American people and Black people throughout the diaspora, but particularly here in the United States, whether of American origins or of African descent or the Caribbean. Anybody who is defined as Black has a particular way in which the criminal justice system, through jury verdicts, has disproportionately hurt Black people. And so the Oregon Supreme Court quoted my research to be able to highlight that point.
That's powerful. Giant congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And, you know, I'll be thinking about this gerrymandering, redistricting. How is this going to affect the other nationalities, the Asians, the Germans, the Russians, whites? Because I think a lot of times people, this is just me talking now, they think this only affects people of quote unquote color.
Mm-hmm.
But it's bigger than that.
Right. Well, anytime you disenfranchise somebody, it's anti-democratic. The United States and its ideals are saying that it's open for everyone. So as soon as you try to stop somebody from voting or curtail their voting, that is totally against democracy. But again, this country from its origins have had that practice. Again, as I said before, in the early 17th century, only white men with property could vote. And then the white men that didn't own property agitated so much and they had to give them the right to vote. And then the same way after the Civil War, then they gave, Black men the right to vote, and then white women got the right to vote, and the other people. So if we're going to live in a democratic society that's open to all, then interracial democracy is the way that it has to be. The problem is with whiteness, right? And just because somebody's white, right, doesn't mean that they're prejudiced, but many white people adopt this idea of white supremacy and this expectation of having privileges and advantages in the United States because of the long history that we've had since our founding and before. That is kind of the history and culture of this country, even though people don't want to acknowledge it, it is. But you see all these practices to stop Black people and other Black people from voting and having other rights. That is all part of white supremacy. It's not Black people trying to stop other people from voting, it's white people stopping them. And so they're adopting this practice of whiteness and white supremacy and trying to limit the rights of Black people and other people of color so that it can maintain it in the hands of whites as it typically has. So we want everybody to vote because it makes it open for everybody. So the fact that more people have more rights is not taking anything away from white people or other people. It's making it to where we're in a representative, multiracial democracy where everybody has the right to succeed. And more people doing something doesn't mean less for you.
Yes, and I'm glad you touched on that, because if they can see the bigger picture,
Mhm.
They will see that if they take rights from someone else,
Yes.
it won't be too long before they come for you.
What's that poem? They came for the Jews, and I didn't say anything because I wasn't Jewish. And then we can just put in fill in the blank. They came for that person, and I didn't say anything because I'm not that. They came for them, and I didn't say anything because I'm not that. And then when they came for me, there was no one left. And so we are our brother's keeper. We are our sister's keeper. We're in a society together. We have to care about one another. So if we say it's okay if they do that because that's those people and I'm not one of those, you are part of the problem. And that is it's inhumane as far as I'm concerned. Number one, it's anti-democratic. And then if you are a person of faith, obviously it's not a Christian or whatever God or faith that you have, not wanting to help your fellow human beings that are living and working and breathing in the same air and space as you is inhumane, and it is not how we should live as humans, in this world.
Absolutely, because folks, if we don't have a democracy,
Right.
now this is me talking right now. Everything I'll put on the shelf for a moment. Let's keep democracy. Because if you don't have democracy, you can't watch what you want to watch on TV. You can't go where you want to go. You don't own your own banks. You can't live where you want. I know people, you're probably saying this can't happen. Ask those other countries.
Yes.
So democracy, people. We can deal with everything else.
Yes.
And I think that's what people were saying when they were saying no king rallies. What, 8 million people?
Right.
So people, democracy. And next month is voting, primaries. So important, people. Doctor, can you touch a little bit about primaries and how important it is for people?
The primaries are important. Anytime there's an opportunity to vote, you should, but the primaries are important, particularly in November. That's going to be happening because we're going to have an opportunity to elect new Congress people and people from various levels of government. And again, we're in this moment now where we're having a lot of these MAGA Republicans getting into office. And when they're getting into office, they're specifically doing things to target Black people and other peoples of color, but Black people specifically. And the only way that you can stop the Trump administration from doing that is to turn the House back over to the Democratic Party. Now, the Democratic Party isn't perfect, but is not nearly like what these MAGA Republicans are doing under Trump, which is trying to get rid of anything Black, erase our history, stop us from voting, stopping research into medical conditions, taking away SNAP benefits. All of these things are designed to hurt Black people, even though they hurt other whites too. But anything that is in our American society through our government that is providing benefits that will help Black people, those are the areas that they are trying to cut, including erasing our history. So we have to elect representatives that are not of that a MAGA mindset. And those are right now, frankly, in the Republican Party. Again, we have to hold all our politicians for accountable. But when you see this group of people that have particular animus and ill will towards Black people, then we have to stop those people. And the way that you do that is through the ballot box and voting out these people who do not have the interest of Black people at heart, and then elect other people, and then when they get in there, hold them accountable. But the congressional races that are happening around the country, the House of Representatives is within a margin of 10 votes or so where it could turn. And so it's important for us to elect representatives who are not of the MAGA persuasion. And so that is important for us to do. And so they're trying to, again, instigate all kinds of tricks like gerrymandering to where they can make it to where there's not as many representatives in a particular district that may be predominantly Black or predominantly Hispanic or predominantly Asian. make those areas smaller, and then that would mean that there's fewer representatives. So then when they get ready to vote, then there's fewer opportunities to take representation away from the Republican Party, and so that they can hang on to power and continue to wield their hateful attacks against Black people and other people of color.
Well, my vote is for Dr. Carmen P. Thomas.
Well, I'm not running for office, but I love explaining to people what the stakes are. And this upcoming November, the stakes are really high. And again, the Democratic Party isn't perfect. We have to hold all our politicians accountable. But what it is that these MAGA Republicans are doing needs to be stopped.
Absolutely, absolutely. Doctor, I'd like to have you come back where we can talk about the Protest City book, Portland Summer of Rage, that book, and also the historical quarterly issue where you talked about the George Floyd situation. But please come back, keep informed with the people, because you have a wealth of knowledge, and we'd be honored for you to sit at your feet and you bless us with the knowledge and the information, because information, people, is power if we use it the right way. Yes?
I'd be happy to come back. Thank you for having me.
Blessing to have you. Be blessed. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you again. Yeah, just we'd be blessed, because I was getting ready to go somewhere else, but we can come back and talk about that too. We appreciate you so much, Dr. Carmen.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, yes. When we come back, we're going to be joined with a young man. He has the arts in his heart, and he's just sharing it with people. He has some programs going on. He has a foundation that he wants people to hear about, and it's about the artists. So don't close that laptop. Don't close that iPhone. Stay tuned. When we come back, we're going to be joined with Mr. Jerry Foster. So stay tuned. We'll be right back. Another clap praise for the Dr. Carmen P. Thomas. And information she shared, people, it's voting time. It's a marathon. Right now we have a gentleman, he's an artistic director, Mr. Jerry Foster. Please join us and welcome Mr. Jerry Foster. Are you there, sir?
I am.
Yes, thank you, sir, for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Tony. Appreciate this.
I mean, you've been working in this area, the Portland area, for over 32 years?
Oh, yes.
Share a little bit about what motivates Jerry Foster to do what he's doing.
Well, it's the passion.
Got that DJ voice. Come on, bro.
It's bringing about ideology, as well as bringing about change, and it's helping to affect change. Passing art, we like to entertain, educate, and celebrate our culture while highlighting issues that affect our community. And one of our goals has been to increase the visibility and viability of emerging and experienced African-American multicultural artists, directors, and playwrights to share their work and their talents. And in doing so, we're able to, as we say, passing art means pass.
One moment, just froze up, sir. When you come back, we'll start right back where you left off at. When he comes back, we're going to be talking a little bit about some of the plays that Mr. Foster's been involved with, like 32 years. I mean, Black Bottom, Deceptive Love, The Pew, Pew Hills, The Sunbeam, Ragtime, Raisin in the Sun. A lot of us have seen these plays, but he has had the opportunity to bring these plays into the Portland area and just allow people to share their gifts. And so it's just going to be a big blessing to hear what he has to say and to be a part of his program and to have the people find out more about his program. And if you're artists, you might want to touch bases. It's all about networking, folks. A lot of time it's not what we know, it's who we know. And particularly in the environment that we're in now, we need to share. We need to network. And some of the other places, 2 Trains are running. Peter Pan, The Big River, Soldier Play, Langston Hughes, Black Nativity. That's a powerful, powerful play. So right now, we're having a little technical difficulty. So Mr. Engineer, is that on our side or is that Mr. Foster's? Mr. Foster?
He needs to log back in.
Mr. Foster, go ahead, log back in. This play was written by Langston Hughes and was directed by Mr. Jerry Foster. We're going to give a shout out to some of the people that was part of that. Jerry Michaels Riley, PhD in choreography, Miss Kamba Shannon. These people have gifts and talents in the Portland area, and they're open to you. They're open for you to come and share your gift, participate, be a part of the program. And we're extremely blessed right now to be able to have Mr. Jerry Foster wants to log back in to kind of share a little bit because he has something going on as well. But people, if you have a gift, and I'm going to put this out there right now too while we're waiting. If you have a gift and talent that you like to share, please contact us. Now, let me put this disclaimer out. If you send your tapes in, we're not going to be sending them back to you per se. Because a lot of people say, well, I send tapes, I get them back. Yes, you can get them back, but it won't be right then, because what we have to do, we have to send it to the engineer. We have to edit what we need to edit, and then we have to have a time slot to put it up. But if you have a gift, if you're an author of a book, you're starting your own business, you have a platform where you want to share some information with the people. And this is another segment we're going to order. Mr. Jerry Foster, it's going to be called The Young at Hearts. And The Young at Hearts is going to be about anyone can nominate or contact us with someone 70 to 75 and older. The Young at Hearts. We would like to sit at their feet where they share history with us, what they have been going through, what they went through, how they see us today, how we can come more together, how they was together. I mean, if you think about it, people, they did an entire movement with no internet. With no internet. For over 365 days, they did not ride the bus. With no internet. Mr. Jerry Foster, are you there, sir?
I am
Go ahead, sir.
not sure what happened.
That's okay. You're back with us.
But
I was just sharing
all
with
right, all right.
some of the plays, and also that you were instrumental in directing Langston Hughes.
Black Nativity, yes. This is our 17th year
Yes.
of bringing Black Nativity to the stage here in Portland. And we like to bring out this program and do it differently each year. And so, again, this year, you definitely feel the energy that's flowing through there. You'll also be able to, if you feel it, get up and dance, move about. We throw out theater etiquette, throw it out the door and give you an opportunity to get loose and just enjoy and join in, both spiritually and physically.
Right. Somewhere I read it said, roof raising and spiritual catching.
You got that right. You got that right. We like to do a blend with gospel music, not only with gospel music, but also some jazz, some blues, that's incorporated in that, as well as some street corner harmony. And so you get a full range of music. I like to tell folks I'm old school.
Okay.
I remember I remember when we went to church,
Yes.
you just had the tambourine and you had all the voices.
Yes.
And in utilizing those voices, those were the musical instruments. So you didn't need the keyboards and the drums and all of that. You had the rich harmony, and that's what we like to bring to our audience. I think that's one of the biggest things about it that really keeps them involved.
Yeah. Give us some times and dates where people can give you a call, information when it's happening, so we know.
Sure, Black Nativity runs November 28th through December 7th. It's going to be at the Alberta Abbey, 126 Northeast Alberta. Tickets can be picked up at passionart.org. The shows is Friday at 7:30, Saturday and Sunday at 3 o'clock.
That's enough.
So you come in and you can beat the darkness going home.
Right. Somewhere it says it's gonna be pure joy for the season. You can bring the whole family and make it a block party, huh?
That's right. That's right. And we hope to see you out there.
Oh, absolutely. Mr. Jerry Foster, we appreciate you so much for coming on. And again, put that information out again for the people. How they can get the tickets, get in touch with you.
Black Nativity, November 28th through December 7th. Fridays at 7:30 p.m., Saturdays and Sundays at 9 p.m. Tickets can be purchased at passionart.org, which is a website.
Appreciate it. When let me see. Send us over a flyer. We'll be more than happy to put up on the website, get out to social media people, and be there. Yeah. Send a brother a couple of them VIP tickets.
Oh, no problem, no problem at all. Just let me know what night you want to come.
All right, sir.
And we won't charge you full. We won't charge you full price. We'll charge you half price. Now, just let me know what night you want to come. Okay.
I appreciate you. Let us know whatever Straight Talk can do, because it's your platform. And as we said, Straight Talk, it truly is the show that cares about you, where the information comes from the people to the people. I want to thank all our guests, Dr. Carmen, Dr. Finch, pilot Edwin, engineer Steve Roberts, Robert Washington, and Tamika Herbert. Thank you all for blessing Straight Talk with your presence, with your information, and sharing your gift with us. And please remember, Straight Talk Show is the show that cares about you, where the information comes from the people to the people. People, get out and vote. Dr. Carmen said it's time. It's a marathon. We got to keep running, people. Thank you, everybody. Tell somebody you love them and keep it straight talking with each other. Thank you again. Be blessed. Talk to everybody.